Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to declare Kogi a national disaster zone due to flooding that has rendered many households and communities homeless. The governor made this appeal during the 62nd independence anniversary of Nigeria, saying that the declaration will help unlock the nation's capabilities to respond more aggressively with resources to this perennial disaster. Judy, earlier on the social media, I saw the video when it rained in Lokoja 2 weeks ago, and I saw houses submerged. Now, when you know the topography of the confluent city, you will understand that that river, at any time it rains heavily, that there are risks. The disaster in Kogi State, the federal government should intervene immediately.
Well, we have to report that many Nigerian states are affected now. We're talking about Kaduna, Niger State, Benue, Adamawa, Jigawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Anambra, Ebonyi, Yobe, Edo, Delta, Kogi, Lagos, Ogun, Ekiti, and Plateau. Flooding has been a big problem this year. It's not as if we were not warned.
Yeah.
We were warned that at least 22 states will be affected.
Yes.
But how we were still unable to do anything meaningful is what baffles me. Look at least in Kogi, it didn't kill people like it killed people in Jigawa State. In Jigawa, the number of people killed, we've been told just about 100. What I've been told reliably, that they are far higher than 100.
To be so ferocious.
Where more than 3/4 of the local government in the states were submerged. What do you expect? People have lost their farmlands, they've lost their homes,
Cattle.
they've lost their cattle, and they've lost lives. So, one of the big problems that we have, there's a dam in Cameroon. Anytime they open that dam, all the Nigerian states
will have
that River Benue passes through them, they are in trouble.
They are in trouble.
Adamawa, as we speak, flooding has destroyed many homes, killed people, destroyed farmlands, and unfortunately, it's happening at a time when people are harvesting. And they are losing their farmland. So look on Benue. Then in Benue, rice farms destroyed. Now, in the case of Kogi, you know, all of those, even in the state capital, the roads along the shoulder of the river, the banks of the river,
overwhelmed,
just taken over by flood. I've seen videos of people in the heart of the town.
Yeah.
In canoes. Moving around in canoes. What's the meaning of this? Because you can't move around.
Submerged.
Now, even Kotonkarfi, where you have that Baja Bridge that links the north and the south. People can't move freely because Kotonkarfi is flooded too. So some people can be on the road for 3 days. If you are coming into Kogi from the east, the southeast, through Ibaji, and coming into Ajaokuta too, you know, River Niger has a big presence in Ajaokuta. Yes. The place is flooded too. So the road is literally cut off. We are talking about flooding that is even destroying bridges and all that in many states. So what the governor is saying, 12 local governments in the state are affected.
12
out of 21. So that's why he's saying, look, we need to do something about this flooding because it's such a big problem.
You know, from what you can see now, the problem we are going to face is the aftermath. Because now many of these houses, their integrity is already compromised. I mean, look at. So where do you settle these people?
Because
or
after
what
some
do you
days,
do?
when you have
When
kind
you
of
have
flood
water
constantly
soaking
into the
a
foundation,
house completely like
yeah.
this, the foundation, everything
foundation will
is
be
swept
weak.
away. So the foundation will be weak. And then, how do you settle this? The aftermath effect is going to be much more than what we are even looking at now. And it is very, very unfortunate.
And even the water that people are drinking
exactly,
is already contaminated.
because if you have this kind of
No,
water
where
for
do they
days,
go?
Of
for
course.
weeks, that
All
cannot.
the ways that have been buried underground will be
In Benue,
swept up and
I
so
saw
on.
Nema. In this local, I have seen flooding exhume human
Of course.
remains.
Oh?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Because look, if you do not bury people deep into the ground,
After the 6 feet,
no, you know this is not every
how
culture.
many-
It's not every culture that puts people in 6 feet.
Exactly.
Some are not even up to 3 feet. What you just see is the
Even if
sand that they put on top.
Exactly. Even if
So
it
that one
is
will be like 1
the
foot.
water with all this water and
In this
everything,
local, there are dead bodies released onto the road.
it's a very, very.
After
in
rain.
fact, if care is not taken, epidemic will
yeah.
break out because with what we are seeing here is a very, very.
I wish we had more
People-
visuals and
you know,
videos.
very,
videos,
very
people's-
dangerous
People's livestock gone.
Gone.
By the time they come
investment, everything.
back, there was a video that I saw where flood was washing away cattle. You see them, they are helpless. Cattle is not the sort of animal that swims.
No.
But just sweeping them off, sweeping off cattle.
So
You
when
see-
they are dead, they will decay and then they will go into the body water and all that. It's a
Like
real disaster zone.
people will need to be evacuated in most of these areas now. They will
Yes.
need like a makeshift IDP.
Yes.
Because no normal
at
human
least to
being will
take
stay.
them to the highland. Take them to the high
It's a
ground.
serious matter that the government must quickly think of what to do.
Is
Because
every local it's even worse in some places than Kogi. Honestly.
So what we are seeing in Lagos is not.
No, the good thing about Lagos is that within a short time, the water
the water will,
dries up.
yeah,
It's not like that in other places. They can be there for months.
Yeah, in other places.
Did you
it will
see
be there?
what they've done in Bayelsa? They've closed schools. The schools are going to open around November 2nd or so in Bayelsa because of flooding.
Because of flooding.
Flooding has literally taken over most of the state. So they've now had to close the schools. They closed the schools last weekend and said they will reopen in November.
That's
How do people go to school? How do they move around?
That's the reason why the government must also emphasize the need for people to understand what is meant by climate change. All these are part of the issues of climate change. Because when things happen like this, you need to know what is it that we need to do or what is it that we have been doing. Because in
It should not be
Nigeria
politicized
today,
in any way.
in Nigeria
This is just a
today,
natural disaster.
we have abused our environment so much that if care is not taken, this climate change we are talking about is going to consume a lot of things. And with the need for people to understand, even those who are in government or who are in charge of all these things need to understand climate change is not just talking alone. You need action. And what are the actions that needs to be take? That they need to take? These are things that we need at this point, you need geographers, you need weather forecasters and all those to come together and say, look, what exactly do we need to do? There are things you may not be able to control, but there are things that you need to do as to be proactive, to make sure that when these things come, you are ready to take action.
You know the one that I'm even confused about what we can do is this constant opening of the dam. There is so much danger when the dam breaks. It's worse.
Yeah.
Because when the dam breaks, everything along its path is destroyed.
It's destroyed.
The water will
Washed
destroy.
up.
So the often release the water gradually.
Bit by bit.
This Onion Dam in is it Osun State or where is it?
Osun.
Whenever they release it, our people in Denro, the Akute area,
Yes.
their houses get flooded. It will be like that for months. Right up to even this, sometimes even along the express. The express here, from
Long Bridge.
Mowe,
Yes,
Long Bridge
yes,
area. You see it on one side like that. And it goes
It will be very close
like
to the
that
bridge.
yes. The effect is felt all the way to Ikorodu, around where, what's this?
12.
There is one town there, what's the name of the town? In the Ikorodu area, on the way to Ikorodu, that they are always flooded every year.
I agree.
Now, what do we do? You can't say that they should not release water from the dam. Many places, as a result of climate change, are experiencing unusually high volume of rainfall.
Yes.
So that one, nobody can do anything about it.
We're not prepared for emergencies.
At a point, you have to, even the Americans, you can see what
Yes,
they are
they will
going
deploy
to,
the military.
the storm waters.
Sometimes they will
Yes.
deploy the military.
You
The
know?
military will take over. They'll start evacuating people.
And some
Katrina,
of these rivers even
Hurricane
need
Katrina,
dredging.
you saw what it did to them.
Katrina in
Now,
2005,
what do we do? Do we stop?
need
You can't stop
dredging.
them from
No.
opening the dam.
Yeah.
I think in Kano, the Jamare,
Water down.
so what's the name of this dam in Kano?
Tiga.
Tiga Dam.
Yes.
They opened it. That was what worsened the problem in Jigawa. But the alternative to not opening it
Is worse.
is worse.
Is worse.
Once it breaks,
Once it
anytime,
breaks-
it will kill people.
No, it will.
To kill people, it would sweep away communities. So they now say, okay, let's gradually be opening it. But when you open it, people's farmlands gone. All the years hard work.
It's
coming at a
it's
time
like
when-
the devil's alternative.
You know, someone was telling me that this flooding is happening at a time when we don't really need water. Because it's harvest time.
It's harvest time.
They've
Exactly.
had good rainfall for like
Yes.
3 months in the
Yes.
north, so consistent rainfall, and it's harvest time. Then
And
this is
all
happening.
that
What
is
do
being
they
swept
do?
away.
All the hard work just swept away like that.
I think they also need to dredge some of the rivers to make them deeper and
Be able to
allow
take in
water
water,
to
accommodate.
flow. Yes, because the way things are now, is the picture ahead is not good at
So
all.
many
It's not
strange
good.
things. In
many-
Katsina, ice flakes dropped this year. Ice flakes, so it was raining and
And-
ice flakes. It's not like Jos, for example. In Jos, when it happens, it's
You think,
nothing
yeah,
new.
yeah.
I've
But in
I witnessed
Katsina,
it
of all
in Jos.
places-
Katsina, very hot state. Ice flakes were dropping. And it destroyed farmlands. So all kinds of strange things are happening as a result of this climate change. And that's why it's a big problem across the world. World leaders are
Sit down too.
sitting down, asking themselves, what do we do? How do
I
we
have this
respond?
caller from Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Umar, thank you for joining us.
Umar,
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for the program. I thank Mr. Jide and the rest of you guys. Please, I do hope that the federal government will listen to you people's call, because this one by now, the federal government would have finished the dredging of Lokoja as is. This is a perennial occurrence every year during rainy season, and people are finding it very difficult to pass. In fact, it was not only the people of Kogi State that suffered along that route. The road that links is north and south. I think the federal government should pay more attention to really address that issue. In fact, the administration tried to dredge that river for economic reasons, which the federal government is yet to fulfill. Please, they should please focus on that, and solve this once and for all. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
so even the pain, if you are traveling, now you are coming from the east, you have to pass through Benue. You have to bypass Lokoja.
Lokoja. A longer route.
Go through Benue State just to avoid the flooded areas. It's and those going to Abuja too. Going to Abuja too from Lokoja is extreme pain for them because
that
the
road that they used to pass,
Kotonkarfi road is flooded, so hours and days in traffic. It's a terrible situation that our people are going through. It happened in Katsina, but their own was short-lived. Flooding has done so much damage this year. Their own was short-lived, but when you look at the extent of the damage, one of the TV stations did a program yesterday on this thing. They were moving from state to state. And I said, so this thing is this bad? Yeah. It's really, really bad. And we have to activate our emergency response system. We should respond rapidly.
So that they can
how are they responding
bring support to people and all that. It's a terrible... In fact, this...
Just ask yourself, how will people drink?
How will people,
water?
Exactly.
Especially you rely on borehole. And that borehole, the whole area is even submerged. How do you drink? If you are relying on well water, everything is submerged. You may not even know why it is.
Will have been destroyed. Food stop at home, domestic... Yeah. I mean, people in their homes. Food stop that is very expensive.
At this time.
Your home is already flooded. I mean, what do you do?
Thank you. Olayinka Oyebule, PhD. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. And Babajide Kolade Otitoju.